Dominica signs cooperation agreements with visiting Moroccan delegation. Leslasa Armour Shillingford is the new Miss Dominica 2013 and a special report on ongoing projects in the Roseau South. Hello and thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector.
And I'm Mervin. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others after the break.
The facts as they are, brought to you every day, only on GIS Channel 7.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Dominica played host last weekend to a high-powered delegation from the Kingdom of Morocco. The primary purpose of the visit was to hold talks on the advancement of relations between Dominica and Morocco. A key item on the agenda was the signing of cooperation agreements in agriculture and human resource development. During its visit, the contingent paid a visit to the Moroccan-funded hotel now being constructed in Portsmouth. Members of the Moroccan delegation also had an opportunity to meet with counterparts from various government ministries. The talks explored ways to increase Dominica's agricultural production. GIS News spoke to Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit about the delegation's visit to Dominica.
We signed two sets of cooperation agreements, one in agriculture and the other a broader one which covers education, which covers health, which covers human resource development, vocational training. It also involves training of our diplomats here and a number of other areas it covered. Again, it was a visit to renew the relationship between Dominica and Morocco and also to visit the construction site of the hotel.
The Prime Minister said the visit was part of efforts to renew cooperation ties with the Kingdom of Morocco.
It's always important in a relationship for there to be dialogue and discussions to assess and evaluate what we've done together and what are the outstanding matters which we need to work on together towards achieving them. So the delegation came and we had a very constructive engagement with them and we look forward to the implementation of the agreements.
The state-of-the-art Moroccan hotel being constructed in the northern town of Portsmouth is considered to be a flagship project being constructed jointly by the governments of Dominica and Morocco as part of a technical cooperation agreement. Prime Minister Skerrit told GIS News that work on the 58-room hotel is progressing satisfactorily with a completion date set for November this year. Prime Minister Skerrit says the hotel project will also include a 75-foot swimming pool as well as 2 tennis courts. We
will also be constructing a 75 feet long swimming pool for the public, Portsmouth, and also 2 tennis courts that the public also in Portsmouth will have access to. Because we will have to divert the existing road into the car bridge. Because we recognize the hotel is right on the roadside, and to allow for parking across the road for the conference facility and also allow for the construction of the Olympic-sized swimming pool and the 2 tennis courts, we would have to divert the road to increase and improve the safety and security of the residents, of the guests of the hotel, but also members of the public.
Dominica established diplomatic relations with the Kingdom of Morocco in 2010. Prime Minister Skerrit made an official visit to the Kingdom of Morocco in July last year.
In more news, Denison Dice Joseph is the 2013 Calypso King. Dice triumphed over his 8 fellow competitors during the Calypso finals last Saturday at Festival City in Portersville. This is the 6th time that Dice has captured the Calypso Monarch title. He impressed both his fans and judges with his performances at Saturday's finals with Beat Me Mama and Remember the Patriots.
Mama,
Gregory Revere, the caresser, captured the first runner-up position with Waterbag Burst and Gentle Rest.
No one can contest. Their services must be the best. Just ensure your soul is blessed. If you want the luxury of gentle rest, find a bed by the princess.
Webster the Web Marie, with his songs entitled Legacy and Kung Fu Politics, came in second runner-up, while Daryl Bob held the number 4 spot with Nothing Plus Nothing and Find a Way.
So, Dr. Man, what will be your legacy for those of tomorrow? Tell me, what will be your legacy? Tell me, lawyer man, what will be your legacy? For there will be sorrow, can't you see? If you keep behaving so selfishly, oh, 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 you can change the legacy. Find a way. Hey, hey, hey.
Other competitors at Saturday's finals were Ras Kelly, Electra, Soulpuss, Deroz, Daddy Chess, and Black Diamond. There were also performances from Tasha Peltier, Woksuk, and Chris B.
Chipping left, and we chipping right, and we chipping left, and we chipping right. Chip to the left, chip to the right, chip to the left, chipping all night. Stars on the road, and we chipping, yeah.
Violence in the schools, and violence and no rules, and violence around the street corners. Violence, yes, bad behavior. No one not to agree to disagree. Everybody getting more angry. Don't let tension cause you to derail. Young man, exhale before you find yourself in jail. Are you Peter can stand you bail?
Everybody click clack. Raise the community high. Raise the community high. Hey, 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 hey. Click clack. Raise the community high. Raise the community high. Hey, 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 hey. Your picture come out. Portrait sorti. Your picture come out. Portrait sorti. Abala, the photograph. Sandali, the photograph.
In more news, the Massac Primary School has been presented with 5 desktop computers which will enhance the school's ability to access information on the World Wide Web. This donation is one of several made to schools across the island by a Dominican businessman resident in the United States, Hendrix Ishmael. Over 400 desktops, laptops, and printers have been made available to schools, including the Dominica State College. Ishmael told the presentation ceremony last week that computers are no longer a luxury but a necessity for learning and accessing information. He noted that computer literacy is essential for the students to compete in the 21st century.
Computer literacy is fundamental at the college, high school, and even primary level. Those who lack this ability are disadvantaged. For example, students can no longer perform efficiently with just pen and paper. Handwritten assignment, no matter how neat, are no longer the standard at learning institutions across the globe. Today, class assignments are computer generated, they're interactive, and some are even animated. That's the standard. Research is now done quickly through search engines compared to my childhood where students spent hours at the library. In some cases, the classroom is a vertical environment where students and teacher interact effectively from the computer at their homes. For all those reasons, it's imperative that Dominica students have the ability to compete technologically.
A parliamentary representative for the Mau constituency, Honorable Rayburn Blackmore, said the donation by Ishmael is tangible evidence that Dominicans living abroad continue to make valuable contributions to Dominica's development.
The persons living in the diaspora, they have something to offer to our development and our advancement as a collective. And Mr. Ishmael is demonstrating that. And what I like about what is happening here today, because we live in an information age, and then we have to ensure that we have the tools to enable the students to have a global reach insofar as fetching the proper information is concerned and enriching yourself so that you can be better students and tomorrow better individuals and better Dominican.
The parliamentary representative impressed upon the school body the importance of putting the computers to good use.
I want to call on you, the students and the teachers of Massac, to appreciate this gift, the computers. And how do you do that, therefore? You do that by ensuring that you take care of them, by developing a sense of ownership to the computers, by not mashing them up and using them to do the right things.
The principal of the Massac Primary School, Elizabeth Daly, gave the assurance that the computers will be used wisely.
Mr. Ishmael, I want to assure you that for the time that I'm here, we will make every effort to use the computers wisely, and surely we will not destroy them. Definitely, we want to be part of the movement, the new movement of education, because you may find, well, international countries, children have each one has a computer going to school, notebooks. But with your assistance, we are getting, and I'm sure with what you have talked to us about trying to get one computer per child, oh, that would just be excellent.
Students of the school said thanks by way of song.
We give you thanks for all you've given. We are so grateful, our hearts are so thankful. Oh yes, we give you thanks.
Similar presentations were made to the Campbell, Mau and Warner Primary Schools. GIS News will bring you details of the Warner Primary School presentation in Thursday's newscast. And the GIS went on a second tour of ongoing projects in Roseau South with Parliamentary Representative Honorable Ambrose George last Thursday. Pearl Fontaine brings us that report.
Government's quest to redevelop and improve the road network across the country is evident in the Roseau South constituency. The parliamentary representative, Honorable Ambrose George, along with a GIS camera crew, visited various hamlets within his constituency. The team set out on February 6, 2013 to visit numerous projects currently ongoing within the communities of Eggleston and Juradale. And on February 7th, a tour of Wall House and Lale Coco was on the agenda. At Wall House, a quiet and scenic community overlooking the city of Roseau, a team of 20, led by contractor Felix Thomas, was busy working on restoring 1,500 feet of road. The team was working on the Wall House Castle Comfort Link Road, which takes users from the Macmillan gas station through Wall House to the Lubia Road. The parliamentary representative discussed the benefits of this link road.
The road serves both communities, that's Castle Comfort and Wall House, but it is also can be referred to as a bypass road. For example, when work was being undertaken on the Lale Coco area, this area was used as a bypass for traffic from the north and traffic from the south. And therefore, in terms of any emergency that may occur between the Wall House and Castle Comfort area, this link road would be the bypass road. And therefore, it is important that the quality of the work is done, is maintained, and that we have that road at all times in a very good condition.
Honorable Ambrose George directly addressed the users of the Wall House Castle Comfort Link Road. He explained that the worst areas of the road are being targeted first, but there are plans to address more areas of road that require work.
There are sections that are okay, and this is why we skip those sections and then attend to the worst areas. But as time progresses, certainly there will become a time when we have to return to that link road and do the necessary repairs that may be required then. But for the time being, what has been identified as the key areas, sections of the road to be undertaken, we are doing that now. But it's not that we are turning our backs on the area. In fact, there's quite a bit more work to be done on the streets, on the lanes themselves. Some of them have become very bad in terms of wear and tear. And sometime, as the funds become available, we will be dealing with the lanes, especially on the northern side of Wallhouse. And so we'll undertake to do repairs on some of those lanes in the future.
According to the contractor, although incomplete, the road is already proving useful.
It began serving its purpose whilst the major road repair works were taking place on the Lale Coco main road. And it will continue to serve that purpose, as a alternative, route for traffic, because you have the Grand Bay, Soufouye, Scott said, and even Petit Savan, daily transportation coming through that area, and traffic can really be heavy in that area.
Thomas also revealed the details of the project, noting that extra complementary work was also done by his team to ensure a road that is fully functional and convenient to residents.
Part of the things that was not enlisted in the roadwork activities is that of continuous drainage and curbs, to ensure that you don't have the runoff of water onto the property of the residents. So as the contractor and a resident of the, constituents as well, myself, and the workers, we are doing that, as I say, pro bono. It is not a cost to the government purse. You will see that drain is broken down. While we only contracted to do the road, but it would be irresponsible on our part, to leave that, unattended. So we will also be taking that off. If you look at the top of the road where you started coming down at the commencement part, you will see a lot of those curbs going in. Those were not initially part of the program, and you would look in front of one or two houses where you're seeing driveways and you're seeing drains. We are responsible for the drain facing upwards on the right-hand side, and we are responsible for putting 400 feet of drain works, which we have already put in. As I said, we are concentrating on 1,500 feet of road and 16 feet wide. But there are a lot of additional works that we are doing as complementary works, to put it that way.
Thomas highlighted the importance of motivating local youth and spreading the economic benefits.
What we try to do on those projects is bring in as many workers as possible. You would observe that every single aspect, of this work have been done by hand. No heavy equipment have been used. In fact, to clear the area, to dig, to excavate, to backfill, I preferred to use the manpower so we could move a lot of the young people, from off the streets and ensure that we could engage them in terms of providing some form of gainful employment for themselves. And we are doing that. We, of course, if you want to make quick bucks, you could simply bring in the concrete truck, and have less labor. But that would not be, labor effective. And as I said, one of the main objectives of those works, those community development works, is to ensure that we can put people to work.
Despite cement shortages causing temporary delays, the link road is expected to be fully motorable by the end of February. The site tour then continued to the Lale Coco Road Restoration Project. Sheldon Robinson, the contractor for that particular undertaking, says this project is 75% complete.
We are about 75% complete. We have completed the entire west side curbs. We are almost through the drainage. We are just remaining the retaining walls to put up. It's drainage work, curb works on the east side and a small retaining wall along Lale Coco, about 4 foot high and a 3-foot drain, slipper drain.
Honorable Ambrose George gave a brief overview of the work being done.
So what we're witnessing right now is the rehabilitation of that section of the road from Macmillan gas station, just in the vicinity of Crazy Tees, up to Loubier, in a section referred to as Laudut, which is where the boundary between Loubier and Point Michel is, basically. The road project included the resurfacing of that entire stretch, as well as the construction of curb walls on the western side and retaining walls and slip drains on the western side of the eastern side, of the road.
He also highlighted that his constituency will not be the only one benefiting from the road project.
This road leads to the southern end of the country, as well as to the southeast of the country, to include Granby, Petite-Savanne, Bacatel, Forsythia, even for the people who travel to Delis and La Plaine. They often use this route for commuting, and therefore the rehabilitation of that road does not only serve the people of Roseau South constituency, but it serves Dominica, especially people from the south and the southeast.
The parliamentary representative believes strongly that this is a worthwhile venture.
From all reports we've gotten so far, this is a wonderful project. It's going to save the bus drivers and commuters quite a bit in terms of wear and tear on the vehicle. And it has made the road much safer. It's wider, for better surface, and that in itself is in keeping with the government's mandate in terms of improving the infrastructure and the road network across the country. And Roseau South is receiving its fair share of that.
As a constituent, Antoine told GIS News that he is pleased with the Lale Coco Road development.
It's good to see development here in Loubier. I mean, we've been waiting for that for a while, and this road has been in a terrible state, and we get some better driving now.
The completion of the $500,000 Lale Coco Road is one which road users on that part of the island are looking forward to. Obviously, safety measures play a major role in the planning of the Lale Coco Road project. According to the contractor, reflectors, a soft shoulder for pedestrians, and a 4-foot high retaining wall will be installed before the project ends. 13 locals found gainful employment on that section of the project, which began in December of 2012. Meanwhile, about a quarter of a mile away on segment 2 of the Lale Coco Road project, a construction team headed by Kermit Robinson is restoring 680 meters of roadway, including 20 box drains along the way. As has been promised by government's Road Network Improvement Program, the island's entire road network is receiving much needed attention, including feeder roads and link roads. Honorable Ambrose George is pleased that the Roseau South constituency is benefiting from the National Improvement Program. He plans to continue serving the people of the Roseau South constituency.
Thanks, Pearl. And 19-year-old Leslasa Amor Shillingford is the new Miss Dominica 2013. Leslasa walked away with the crown on Friday, February 8th at Carnival City, while also taking Best Performing Talent, Best Costume, Best Swimwear, and Best in Swimwear. Kelsha Breezy took first runner-up, Best in Costume, and Miss Amity. Dana Matthew copped second runner-up while dominating the Best Evening Wear segment, winning Best Evening Wear and Best in Evening Wear. Jean Royer got Miss Photogenic and Nikisha Filbert Best Response to Question. Here are a few scenes from the swimsuit segment of the pageant.
Your time is running out. I'm talking here and now. I'm talking here and now. It's not about what you've done, it's about what you do.
What changes would you like to see in the behavioral patterns and lifestyles of our young people in Dominica?
So far, I believe that young people in Dominica do not accept the Dominican culture, and we look towards the American and so many other cultures. I would really like young people to love Dominican culture in terms of art, music, everything, and move it onward so that we have a modern Dominican culture.
Good evening, Carnival City. I am contestant number 1, Jarna, Miss Dutch Lady Power Shake, representing this dynamic community of goodwill. Tonight, you will have to drink a power shake in every flavor to keep up with my energy.
Queen Leslasa, who intends to study agricultural economics, shared her reaction to being crowned Miss Dominica with the media.
I want to study agricultural economics, and without the scholarship I don't know if I would have been able to.
How much did the scholarship opportunity weigh on this decision to go up for Miss Dominica?
I think it was about half and half. I definitely wanted the scholarship. I want to improve myself and my country, but it really was the opportunity just to be a spokesperson for Dominica, and no matter if I won, I would have still been an ambassador.
What will be your key subject?
I'm excited, I'm a little bit nervous, there's a lot of expectation on, but I believe I can handle it, and I just can't wait to get started.
Leslasa currently teaches dance at the Old Mill Cultural Institute and at the Pioneer Preparatory School. She says she's ready to begin her duties.
I've been meeting with principals so far and talking to them about incorporating more sports and arts and philosophy into the program. They seem excited about it, but it's really the curriculum that needs to be changed now. And I do want to make a note that there is a lot of extracurricular programs that are being brought in Dominica to try to help with this holistic education, but I would love to see them actually in the curriculum.
Leslasa succeeds Miss Dominica 2012, Nadira Landu. Congratulations, Leslasa, and all the prize winners. That's a wrap on Carnival 2013. What are your thoughts, Mervin?
Yeah, my thoughts. Let's start with the Calypso show, which just ended. First of all, congratulations to Dice. 6th time.
Yeah, that's a record.
Yeah, that's a record. And we have to also commend the Dominicans who continue to turn out in large numbers to support these Calypsonians every year. Despite, even if during the period of time you hear them say, oh boy, pocket is kind of empty, but they still turn out in large numbers to this event. Also, well, what pulled down the curtain on the events was the jump up, I guess.
How was the parade, Mervin?
The parade, as usual, lots of color, lots of a lot of people bringing out their best quote unquote outfits during the 2 days. Usually the opening, which is the Juve morning, that's when you see the best outfits come out. I'm sure our cameraman Nigel, for example, must have seen some quite interesting outfits at that time, because it's usually the early morning, it's very dark, and then surprise, it's day again and everybody sees all these pretty outfits and so on. But we also have to commend the groups which came out. For example, the St. Martin's School, they had this band, a lot of young children came out dressed in all different kind of outfits. They had, for example, the Little Miss Bo Peep and all the nursery rhymes people. Also, we also have to make mention of the police. They turned out this year. Over the years, they kept on saying we have a zero tolerance attitude for violence, and this year they came out in large numbers. I don't think you could be any part of the band and not know that the police were there. As a matter of fact, there were police on the trucks. So, I mean, they will have to commend the police. Usually, sometimes we give the police a lot of flack, but they did come out in large numbers this year. And yes, while there were 1 or 2 incidents, which, I mean, the police can't be everywhere at the same time, but they did come out. They had a strong show of presence, and we must commend them.
So, Mervin, would you say that our Carnival Parade was actually a melting pot of culture?
It was. As a matter of fact, when you look at it, there were the Chinese, there were the French, there were the Caribs, there were the, well, let's not say the last part, but then there were quite a lot of people from different cultures showing up at the event, and even the Lapu Cabwit, everybody still know. As a matter of fact, if you were not too drunk, you would have witnessed, for example, our Minister for Information, Mr. Ambrose Judge, always there present in the Lapu Cabwit, and so on. So yeah, it was a mixture, a blend, and everything.
Finally, Mervin, how does this year's Carnival compare to Carnivals past?
Carnivals past. I am not too sure because over the years, well, the most I can say, as I said before, regarding the Calypso shows and these shows, for example, a lot more people are turning out for it. Although for the parades themselves, I'm not too sure. I still think that there is need for more people to come out, and in terms of the costumes, for example, to come out and display some costumes. But all in all, I think 2013 Mass Dominic was a success. But that's my opinion. We'll have to wait for the DFC to comment on that.
Very good analysis, Mervin. And that's the English news. Learn how to boost your creativity in our national focus tip of the day. Your creativity will definitely be boosted when you learn to go easy on yourself. Stop criticizing yourself and stop being so harsh to yourself.
Accept yourself the way you are and do things to the best of your ability. You are enough and you are creative. Don't let self-limiting beliefs block out your creativity. Remove the barriers and the ideas will begin to flow. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments.
Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Mervin Matthew.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you so much for watching.